Well, I used to play practical jokes on Leonard because he was the most serious, I'm Spock. And I dig him with his Spock. So the one story I like to tell, it's worth telling again, was when we shot Star Trek at Paramount Studios, it was the furthest soundstage. Soundstages are all, I don't know, 100 by 50 long, oblong buildings, soundproofed and lights and stuff like that. And a movie company would be in that hall with the sets for, it could be weeks. We had our permanent sets there, and we were there all the time. But that hall, stage 28, was the furthest from the place where you eat, where they would serve all the meals. So with 100 people, and you had a half an hour for lunch, if 100 people went down to that cafeteria, by the time the first one was through, they had to go back to the set. The 100th person was late, couldn't eat. So the first people there would get something to eat. I used to run track, so I was pretty fast. So they'd yell lunch, and out I'd go to the door, and I'd run down to the cafeteria and get my meal. So, and Leonard, big and tall and ungainly, for the most part. He bought a bike. He jumped on his bike and got ahead of me. So the next day, I brought a chain and a lock, and I chained the bike to a stanchion. Lunch, and out I go, and Leonard's trying to, what the heck? So he missed lunch. Next day, he brought bolt cutters. He cut the chain, he beat me there. Next day, I took his bike and I put it in my dressing room. I had a little 14 by 14 dressing room. And when the bike would run out, and he said, Shatner, where's my bike? I said, it's in my dressing room, sorry. People are stealing bikes. I didn't want them to steal your bike. So he goes into my dressing room, opens the door, and I had my 2 Dobermans who follow me everywhere. So these 2 Dobermans attacked him, and he shut the door. They said, your dogs attacked me. I said, no, they didn't. Anyway, ended up with I took his bike and I put it way up in the ceiling, and we had the lighting guys put a spotlight on it. And he said, where's my bike? And I said, come with me. We went into the stage, and I said, lift your eyes to the stars. And he lifted his eyes. There was his bike. That was my practical joke on Leonard. One of many, I may add, but the one I remember the best.